4 years ago. I had the Jeep out front.
Yeah.
No, I don't want you. I left 4 years ago. I was screaming, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Screaming when I left Warner Brothers. Right? Everyone's in the meeting. 4 years again. It's a mystery, baby. We got, I got some really good news. Great news with Warner Brothers. Amazing. Wish I could tell you, but here it is. Peter, I love you. James, I love you. David. Okay. Mwah. To the future. Baby! Picture me rolling.
What was your meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran like?
It's very, very wonderful. I'm in the house of Warner Brothers, and they like a lot of stuff I'm doing, and we got a lot of good things coming.
Right, 11 more months until we get
another
movie.
We're gonna have, we'll have Aquaman, which is funny. It's the beautiful thing is me and my partner wrote the first treatment for it. It's about a 55-page treatment, and a lot of it has to deal with me talking to the UN, expediting what's going to be happening with the melting ice caps, and there's no far-off galaxy coming to destroy us. There's no aliens from another place. It's really just the idea of us ruining our planet, and the fact that we all need to get it together and save our home. So it's fun. It's going to be coming out in this December, and then I'll always be Aquaman. The rumors aren't right. I'll always be Aquaman. Ain't anyone coming in there and taking shit. And then there might be some other characters too. So, so we can play. I can play other things too. I can be funny and savage and charming once in a while.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Jason Momoa just posted a brand new video about Aquaman 2 in the big DC Movies reboot that James Gunn is doing. The reason he's super excited is because he's working on a new DC project after Aquaman 2, so we'll break it all down. Because it does sound now like he's actually going to survive and continue playing Aquaman in future DC rebooted movies. Like he says, I'll always be Aquaman. Nobody's going to come and take that, meaning they're not going to recast anyone else as Aquaman, but also coming back as different characters too in the future on top of that.
I'll always be Aquaman. Ain't anyone coming in there and taking shit. And then there might be some other characters too. So.
If you're brand new to the channel, James Gunn is getting ready to announce his full DC Phase 1 slate of movies, like all the new rebooted movies. Of course, I'll be doing videos for all that stuff. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. If you can't hear exactly what he's saying during some of this, at the beginning of the clip, he posted this clip at the Warner Brothers studio lot where all the executives have offices, so like he's just had a meeting with the new DC powers that be. The meeting was about this upcoming new DC project after Aquaman 2, like the new character he's going to play. He's super psyched. When he says 40 years ago at the beginning here, he's talking about a meeting that he had with Warner Brothers in 2019 after the first Aquaman movie came out about their plans for Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, and the future of Aquaman in the movies just in general. Not only the plans for the future of their character at the time, but their larger plans for the movie version of Crisis on Infinite Earths and like their 10-year plus plan that they had at that time, which changed a couple times between 2019 and 2022. A couple versions of that plan still involved Henry Cavill's Superman coming back and doing Man of Steel 2. That was all before James Gunn was hired on and they did the big reboot. He says he had a Jeep out front of the lot with the security guards there. Those are just the regular security guards that work the lot to keep crazy people from getting in. The Peter that he mentions in the video is Peter Safran, James Gunn's producing partner. He's featured in some of the behind-the-scenes videos, like he produced James Gunn's Suicide Squad movies. He's a producer on the Shazam movies as well. Now he's also the co-president of DC Movies with James Gunn. Peter Safran mostly just focused with the financial business side of the movies, the upcoming DC series. He's like the number cruncher. James Gunn, who was also mentioned in this video, like he mentions James, is mostly just focused on the creative side, coming up with what's actually going to happen, the story, who they cast for all the characters, like who they're going to cast for all these rebooted versions of the characters, how they're plotting out the next 10 years of DC movies. Even though James Gunn said he's just going to reveal DC Phase 1 before the end of January, he's got like 10 years worth of movies planned. Kevin Feige did the same thing because like I talk about DC Phase 1, Marvel Phase 2, Phase 3, so forth. That covered everything from Iron Man 1 through Avengers Endgame, like the entire Infinity Saga movies. James Gunn essentially had to do the same thing when they hired him to run DC movies. His new 10-year plan takes them through like their big universe-spanning Crisis on Infinite Earths style movie. They might not use Crisis as their big endgame level movie. It might be something else like Blackest Night or something else really crazy. There are a lot of big DC events that they could use for that. The David that he mentions in the video is David Zaslav, the new CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, like the entire company, and the one that everybody's pissed at for canceling so many movies and shows recently. Like, if something got canceled by HBO Max that you love, it's probably because of David Zaslav. Last year, they were trying to either cut or write off $3 billion in debt because of the merger with Discovery. It was a huge debacle. That's why the Batgirl movie got canceled. That's why they passed on doing the new Batman animated series with Bruce Timm and Matt Reeves. The thing that he can't talk about that he mentions is the new DC project he's working on, probably Lobo related. It's widely believed by pretty much everybody on the internet now that's been following him for the last couple of years because of his earlier post before he became Aquaman. He talked for a long time about how he always wanted to play a version of Lobo, but for whatever reason several years ago, Warner Brothers just never got around to doing the character in the live-action movies, and then Zack Snyder came on and did Man of Steel and cast him as Aquaman during Batman v Superman, and that pretty much sealed the deal. And the reason why he's probably so pumped is because they're saying that he gets to come back as Aquaman. Like, we're not going to fire you as Aquaman. We're not going to recast the character so you can do more Aquaman in the DC universe. But also they're allowing him to play other characters as well, which is where Lobo comes in. And when he comes back as Lobo, he'll have so many prosthetics and makeup, CG effects to alter his appearance that he'll look different enough and it won't be that weird to see him again. Really good example of this in the Marvel movies, and they've done this with several people in the Marvel movies, will be Josh Brolin playing Thanos, like huge character for a long time in the last 10 years of Marvel, then playing Cable in the Deadpool movies and coming back as Cable in live-action Marvel movies. Kevin Feige said that he felt that that was totally fine, like it wasn't going to be weird. So it's a similar situation with Jason Momoa coming back as a version of Lobo. I'm assuming for now that his new DC project that he's all hyped about is its own separate thing, like his own movie-related project, but it could be tied to one of the new DC Phase 1 movies that James Gunn is getting ready to announce. He said he's been writing the new Superman movie with the younger Superman, like Superman Year 2. It's like them doing for the new Superman what they just did for Robert Pattinson's Batman, doing a younger version that's not an origin story set early in his career. And they literally just did that in the DC animated movies with Superman Man of Tomorrow. Like, it's a younger Year 1, Year 2 kind of Superman. He literally faces Lobo as one of his earliest villains. Lobo in the comics is more of an anti-hero type of character who's frequently an antagonist. He was featured heavily during Young Justice and the other animated series, but they haven't really done him in live action yet. His main powers are regeneration and just incredible strength. He's super strong, and he can regenerate his entire body from a single drop of blood, so he's incredibly hard to kill, and his healing factor works way faster than Deadpool's and Wolverine's. They even had a joke about that during Young Justice, where like during the post-credits for all the episodes, you see this little tiny piece of Lobo just like slowly growing into another Lobo. With Jason Momoa posting this video right now, just the timing of everything makes it sound like James Gunn is ready to announce his full DC Phase 1 slate of movies, like it's happening next week. He said he'd announce all the big movie changes, all the new DC movies before the end of January. Hopefully he's not going to wait till like the very last minute of the month. The only movies that he's not going to be messing with are Matt Reeves, the Batman 2, and the Robert Pattinson Batman movies, all those spin-offs, because they're working on some DC series like a Batman Penguin series on HBO Max. That'll be set in its own universe, probably throughout whatever trilogy Matt Reeves is working on. I'm assuming it's going to be a trilogy. We'll just call it the Batverse right now. And James Gunn isn't messing with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker 2 movie, which is probably going to be the last Joker movie that he winds up making. I'm not expecting a third one, but never say never. That'll also be set in its own completely separate universe. Everything else, like all the other collective movie universes, mostly like the Snyderverse, like the DCEU, is what James Gunn is changing. He said some people will continue, so like 98% of the universe will be rebooted, but like a couple people will survive on. Based on previous history, it sounds like he's going to do what he did with the previous Suicide Squad movie when he did his rebooted Suicide Squad film. Like, it was a soft reboot. He acknowledged some of the characters that came before, some of the pre-existing continuity, and then basically wiped the slate clean by killing off most of those characters and then carrying one or two of them forward. The joke now, and I actually think it's a pretty solid idea, is that they make Peacemaker like the psycho pirate type of character who remembers the pre-existing DCEU continuity and starts raving about it, and nobody believes him. When we talk about the new DC Phase 1 slate of movies, that's probably only going to include like 3 to 4 movies that he's talking about announcing. I'm not expecting him to talk about stuff that's further out than that, even though he said that he has the next 10 years mapped out. Most likely first ones that we'll see, like if we're talking about 3 or 4 movies, would be the new Superman movie that we already know about, a new Wonder Woman movie with a different actress, not Gal Gadot, a new Green Lantern movie, probably Suicide Squad 3, and maybe one of the other recast versions of a Justice League characters movie, like a new Flash movie with a totally different person playing the Flash. I'd be really surprised if he announces Justice League 2 or Justice League Rebirth, whatever he's going to call it. I think the next Justice League movie will be like 4 to 5 years out. But whatever he winds up announcing, of course I'll do videos for it. Make sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss those videos. Talk about the Snyderverse, click here for my new Zack Snyder Rebel Moon trailer video for Zack Snyder's version of a Star Wars movie, and click here for my new Flash movie trailer video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.